number 6 on the Stadium Off-Road Circuit. We begin the second half of the season tonight. And now apropos it is that we are racing tonight at the site of the original, the inaugural Stadium Off-Road race, and that's the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, Los Angeles, California. It's all part of the Mickey Thompson Off-Road Championship Grand Prix. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Chamberlain, and say hi to Marty Reed. Marty, what makes this so unique, I think, are these peristyles behind us. The cars will actually, and the trucks will actually leave the Coliseum, go outside the Coliseum, come back in, and then take an 80-foot drop straight down.
You said it. 80 feet straight up, and here's the view. They come through on the outside of the stadium, and then they turn back into the stadium and drop another 80 feet from this end. This is what the spectators here in the Coliseum will see as they come flying back through the peristyles. It is one thrilling, exciting race here at the Coliseum. And talk about points, that's going to make it more exciting.
Marty, it's really tight at the top.
The man to beat right now is Walker Evans. Ivan Stewart is 50 points behind. Rod Millen is in third. Roger Mears in fourth. And the man to watch right now is Rob McCachran. He has won the last 2 events, and if he can win tonight, it would be the first time since 1988 that someone has won 3 in a row.
Marty, as you walk around the Coliseum, you hear chanting going on. They're going three-peat, three-peat, three-peat. They're talking about Rob McCachran, who's trying to string together his 3rd in a row. The other big story is Rod Millen fractured a knuckle yesterday while qualifying, but he's going to race tonight.
Rod Millen broke the knuckle on his left hand right here on his little finger. Now, these 2 fingers are wrapped in very heavy wrapping, and also the cast goes up past his wrist onto his forearm. It's very difficult for him to drive, but it's essential that he drives, not only because of the fact that he's in a battle for the points championship, but also the manufacturer's championship. And let's show you why. Dodge is on top right now with 472 points, but Toyota is within striking distance of capturing their 9th consecutive crown if they can keep both those Toyotas running and finishing up front. So that's why it's so important for Rod Millen to drive tonight.
Not only that, but he's got a brand new truck, and he didn't want anybody to get inside that besides him, so he'll be in that brand new V6 Toyota truck. You'll also see the Ultra Cross, the Ultra Stocks. We've got the Super Lights. We got ATVs. It's going to be a lot of fun. Buckle up, folks. It's all coming at you on ESPN. The Mickey Thompson Off-Road Championship Grand Prix is brought to you by Budweiser with that clean, crisp, cold taste that makes it the king of beers. Nothing beats a Bud.
Let's take a quick tour of the Memorial Coliseum layout. As you come off the starting line, you've got to make a quick decision, inside or outside. Really, there's no major difference. Each has its own little nuances which equalize each other as you go up through turns 2, 3, and 4, and then come down through turns 5 and 6 on the far end. Where it comes into play is whether or not somebody gets hung up in front of you and you get caught in the wrong lane. As you come back out through turn 6, you hit the back straightaway, the rhythm section. Hit this wrong, get out of sync, and you're out of shape for a long, long time to come. Then you have one big jump into a very fast left-hander called turn 7, and then another jump sets you up for a 90-degree left-hander in turn 8. Then there's 2 more big jumps as you head for the finish line.
Rod McCachran, what a story he is. He is going for his 3rd in a row on the Mickey Thompson circuit, and he talked with Marty Reed a little bit earlier about some of the pressure that might be on him tonight.
Rob, not since 1988 has someone won 3 events in a row. Can you do it tonight? And if so, how do you go about it?
Well, we've done real good so far. We were the fastest qualifier, so I think the Ford and BF Goodrich will be able to make a 3-peat.
What's the strategy?
I start in the back in the first heat. Fast qualifier always starts in the back, so I'm hoping to work my way through the pack, gain points in the first 2 heats, and start in the front row in the main event, and hopefully make it an easy race.
Okay, so we'll see if Rod McCachran can put his 3rd win in a row together here on the Mickey Thompson circuit. The last time it was done was back in 1988 by Glenn Harris, who is also in the field here tonight. That is Gary Scheimer, the man in the upper right-hand corner. He controls the flag, and we are off and running. And they split. They single file left and right side. They're going to go 80 feet up the peristyle, and then they go outside the Coliseum.
Oh, and already Walker Evans has forced his way around Ivan Stewart, and Ivan's got a hood that is flapping up into the breeze. There you see Ivan right in our screen. Here they come down. Now, Rod Millen had the advantage because he was on the front row. Remember, he is driving with that broken left knuckle, and he has got the lead as he comes out of the peristyles. But, whoa, maybe taken taken over by Scott Douglas in the Jeep, but Douglas gets out of rhythm just momentarily, hits nose heavy, and now they're into turn 7.
And here's a big sweeping turn. Scott Douglas leads the way. Rod Millen running in second place, and Millen wants a piece of him, goes up on the hydro barrier, and just muscles over first place. He stepped in and muscled it away from Douglas, and here we go again. One lap now complete at the Los Angeles Coliseum, and you can see, folks, there's a lot to be encountered here tonight. The parastyles, the fast course, the double jumps, everything you could hope for in the race tonight.
Here they come, and now here's the problem as you get on the outside. Notice the guys who take that inside lane, they have a very quick turnaround, but they also have to go farther at this end, so it almost equalizes itself out. But here it comes with Rod Millen first, Scott Douglas in second, and the man who has shot up into third, Glenn Harris in the Craftsman Dodge.
Rod Millen, a transplanted New Zealander, now lives in Newport Beach, California. That's a brand new V6 Toyota truck. They've been testing it the past couple of weeks, and he says it is fast, and it's got a lot of horsepower, and it's stalling out in the middle of the course.
And the real battle is for third place right now. Rob McCachran all over Roger Mears Jr. These two, well, now one goes inside. There goes the fender off of the Nissan of Roger Mears Jr. He goes by his father now as Rod Millen continues his way in the lead. And now it's going to be interesting to see. Watch this third place battle. Look how loose it is as far as the course is concerned. As they come back down into the stadium, there is your leader, Rod Millen. But the big battle is for third place.
And so Glenn Harris maintains second place, Mears Jr. in third, and Rob McCachran running fourth right now.
And they are, notice how equalized that is. I mean, it's amazing when you must give credit to Jerry Stansberry and his people for being able to come up with that design, and it works so well.
All right, here we go. Rod Millen continues to lead the way. Glenn Harris running second place. We've got 4 laps to go. This is the halfway point of the first heat race in the Grand National Sport Trucks. These trucks can run you up to $125,000 up to $200,000. A little bit more than you might buy in your showroom at your local dealership.
Well, and you don't have to drive them through the parastyles like these guys do either.
A point well made, Marty. And they're outside the Los Angeles Coliseum. That is an 80-foot drop straight down, ladies and gentlemen. And Rod Millen continues to lead the way here. Rod Millen, a 2-time winner on the circuit this year.
Boy, McCachran almost came out side by side with Roger Mears Jr. in third place. You can see that they are still nose to tail.
Well, they tell us that this is the fastest track ever on the Mickey Thompson circuit. If you took all the twists and turns out of it, it would run about a half mile in length. But they're twisted and turning and burning around the corners at the Los Angeles Coliseum tonight. Stop number 6 on the Mickey Thompson Off-Road Championship Grand Prix. So glad you could be with us. And we got the 2 Chevys hung up down in the corner. Greg George and Danny Thompson are going to drop into almost dead last, except for Ken Hodgson. They are now running next to last, Marty.
And that's not a good sign for them. They need to do very well here tonight. Here's a man who's doing extremely well. There was some question yesterday when the accident happened, when he broke the knuckle, whether or not he would be able to drive. Well, he's answered that.
Yeah, I guess so. And he's driving extremely well here. He is really hooked up, as the drivers would say, with the dirt here in the Los Angeles Coliseum right now. We've got 2 laps to go here. Millen continues to lead. Glenn Harris from Camarillo, California, is running in second place, and he is also running out of time if he's going to catch Mr. Millen.
Well, Glenn has to be extremely careful because he's on probation with the Mickey Thompson Entertainment Group. Whoa, we got a little contact, and yes, going up on his side. Roger Mears Jr., and he does. He hits the hydro barrier. Now, I am sure that rough driving may take a look at that.
Well, Glenn Harris in second place has an awful lot of experience. If you go all the way back to 1979, the first night that they raced in Stadium Off-Road Racing here in Los Angeles, Glenn Harris was one of those that raced in 79.
Oh, and Walker Evans, who was running very well in fourth place, has stuffed it as we're heading to the final turn.
One more left-hand turn. Rod Millen will win heat race number 1. Glenn Harris will finish second. Rob McCachran will finish third. And that's how you do it in Stadium Off-Road Racing. 1, 2, 3. There's your winner, Rod Millen.
Rod Millen, congratulations on a fine win here in heat race number 1. Hold up that left hand. Let our viewers see how... I mean, that... Now, wait. Hold it up there a little bit and explain how hard it is to drive with that.
Well, it's in a cast down to here. I can't move my wrist, but I've got these fingers to use. The guys have stepped up the power steering, so I can do most of the driving with my right hand. I sort of use my left hand to guide. The gets a little tricky when the truck gets a little sideways, but I've tried not to do that and just keep it straight. I don't know what it's going to be like in traffic, though.
We've got the pass where you took the lead early in the race against Scott Douglas. Take us through it.
Well, I came up there, and he sort of went wide, and I thought, oh, I'm going on the inside. And then he cut in, and I figured, oh, too bad, buddy. I'm already here, so I'm going to use that barrier to bounce off and then go for the straight line here and nip him off on the next corner.
Yeah, you had the horsepower from that point on, and really, the yellow was to a disadvantage for you, but didn't affect you. You went away from there and hid.
Yeah, well, you know, the Toyota truck ran great. You know, our guys have just built this truck. They worked real hard, so, you know, my thanks to them.
Congratulations. See you in Heat 2.
Thank you.
This is going to be fun. The Stadium Superlights, heat race number 1. And in this race is a racer named Greg George. You may know him. He races the Grand National Sport Trucks, but he also races the Superlights races. Heck, he has won 4 of the 6 stops on the 91 circuit.
Let's talk Superlights for a second. You have been the dominant figure there, winning 4 out of 6. What's been the key?
Well, I tell you what, it's been a combination of a few things. Mostly, I think it's the team determination that they want a championship, and they're going after it. You know, they've got the big guns out, and they want this championship really bad. And I couldn't be happier because it's making my job really easy.
Okay, we're just about set to go. The question is, can Greg George put win number 5 under his belt at the Los Angeles Coliseum? The high wind will tell you that the Stadium Superlights are off and racing. This is a fun form of racing. A lot of people think of it as an introductory form of racing. It can cost you about $15,000 to $25,000 to get into this form of fun type racing.
We should tell you, Ron Chartaw and Terry Peterson started on the front row in front of Jimmy Johnson and Greg George. We'll find out as they sort out here for the first time through the peristyles. Greg George is going to end up in about 4th spot, and the man out front, as you're inside with Greg George, and you can get an idea just how rough and tumble these little Superlights will be. But the man in front right now is Chartaw, but I don't know how long he can hold on to that.
34 years of age, out of Montclair, California. That's our leader in that red Superlight. And he is being chased by, I believe, Jimmy Johnson, a 15-year-old out of El Cajon. There's Greg George trying to make up some valuable ground. He's back in about 3rd or 4th position right now. Number 17, Jimmy Johnson, is running currently in 2nd place out of El Cajon, California, a suburb of San Diego.
Yeah, Greg George got around Terry Peterson, so we'll see what happens. Again, they have to wait till they sort out as they come down through the peristyles.
This is going to be fun. Oh, and number 17, Jimmy Johnson, is the leader right now. There is number 12. We've got a car that is stalled out right now. That is Chris Bennett, and he's out of the race. But the big story is up front right now. Number 17, Jimmy Johnson. He's only 15 years of age, ladies and gentlemen. He is the youngest racer on the Mickey Thompson circuit. Any class, he is the youngest. We're back inside with Greg George.
Now let's take a tour, and now this is the inside-outside combination. Now he's taking the inside line. Now we're getting ready to go up the peristyles. Hold on to your seat, because this is what it looks like from inside with Greg George. If you miss, you hit.
And there he is outside. The real thrill is when you come back down that 80 foot. You had to go up 80 feet. You got to come back down. These Stadium Superlights grab a good hunk of about 40 to 60 feet in the air.
And they're actually one of the roughest rides that you'll find out here on the course. This is a Nature's Recipe 1-2 right now, it looks like, though, as Jimmy Johnson, the young phenom in this category, he has been dazzling every time the last few times out. He is holding off at the more experienced veteran, Greg George.
Greg George having won 4 of the 6 stops on the Mickey Thompson Tour. We are at stop number 6 to the Los Angeles Coliseum, and so glad you could spend some time with us because we are inside one more time with Greg George. Here's what it looks like. Go up. Oh, my goodness sake, your heart goes up into your throat. Oh, and then you bump into the hydro barrier and you recover.
He tried for that inside line. Just couldn't quite make it stick. Now we'll go back down. Look at this. Ah!
Oh, my goodness sakes. One time, a few years back, Marty, remember when we put the camera into the chest protector of one of the motorcycle racers? I'm going to tell you, talk about a sensation that you are actually on the course. Wow. That was a nice shot, too.
We should point out the 3rd place vehicle is also, Nature's Recipe is running 1, 2, 3. They're 3 team vehicles out of 4 that they have are running 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Rennie Awana is in 3rd place. Their only other car is not in this heat race. Here we go for a pass for a lead. Greg George is going to take it.
Oh, that's experience paying off there. There's a guy that knows exactly what he's doing. Of course, Greg George has the advantage of racing in the Grand National Sport Trucks, So he has already seen this course tonight, and we've got about 2.5 laps still remaining. Marty, you talk about an interesting thing. We've got 15-year-old Jimmy Johnson and his teammate on Nature's Recipe.
He's slowing down. Jimmy has slowed down and is pulled off to the side. Something has broken on that car. In fact, you see on the left front that looks like something hanging down there?
He still wants to race. He's got it in reverse.
I don't think he's got all the steering capabilities that he may need.
I think you're right. Now he's going to hit the rhythm section, and it's pure speed from here on into the checkered flag for Greg George. He is 31 years of age out of Altaloma, California. And look at the beating that these guys take back-to-back, side-to-side. But he is in absolute rhythm. He is hooked up with the course. Oh, I talk about being hooked up.
That was the number 18, Ron Chartar, our early leader. He's tied up with Don Archibald and one other machine.
That's going to take him 10 minutes to untangle that one. In the meantime, there's the checkered flag, and you can see what it looks like to take that black and white flag. And he says, yeah, I'm number one. You're right, you are, Greg. You win heat race number 1 in the Stadium Superlights.
Presenting a superb...
This is going to be fun. Super 1600s heat race number 1. And sitting on the front row is Jerry Welchel. He is leading the points race by only 1 point over Marty Coyne coming into Los Angeles tonight. And he talked about that.
Tell me, what kind of race are you going to drive?
Well, I'll tell you, Marty, this is an outrageous track. You got so much speed going here that I got all the boys back in the pits changing motors and gears and trannies. And, I mean, we're just going wild here. We're going to do the best we can. So our strategy is to go as fast as we can go.
There he is in the number 3 Super 1600, Jerry Welchel out of Mission Viejo, California.
Yes, and if our camera tilts back or pans to the left just a little bit right behind Jerry, you will see Marty Coyne right behind him. This is going to be a showdown here in the heat race.
It ought to be fun, and there they are. 10 strong. They answer the bell. Heat race number 1, Super 1600.
And before the start, we'll keep an eye on number 1, Mitch Mustard. He was 2 seconds quicker in qualifying.
The overall defending champion from last year, Mitch Mustard, out of Colorado. So we're off and running. They hit the peristyles, 80 feet straight up into the air. They go outside the Coliseum for the first time, hugging those red, white, and blue hydro barriers. They are filled with water, one of the Mickey Thompson safety innovations. Now they go back down the other side. They drop 80 feet, and let's see who comes out of this thing. Oh, they almost collide, and that is number 3, Jerry Welchel. Number 33, am I right? Yeah. Number 33 has the lead. That's Marty Hart from El Cajon, California.
Welchel's in second, Mitch Mustard in third, and Marty Coyne in fourth. And whoa, Welchel gets sideways momentarily. That may open the door for Mitch Mustard.
Somehow he got that nose straightened out in time, and there's that race for second place. Welchel and Mustard running number 2 and 3 right now, and they're chasing Marty Hart, who raced earlier tonight in the Stadium Superlight division. So this is the second time that he has seen this course this evening as the hay starts to fly everywhere off those hay bales.
Well, that's not really actually hay. That's bits of mud that's flying out, and it's just the light, the way the light is hitting him on the outside. You get the idea. You can see just how much is tossed up in these drivers' faces.
It could be mosquitoes. No, I think Marty's right. That's exactly what it is. It's some of the mud that's being slung here at the Los Angeles Coliseum. This is stop number 7 on the Mickey Thompson Off-Road Championship Grand Prix. So glad you could join us tonight on ESPN. Mike Chamberlain and Marty Reed calling the action, and the Super 1600 supplying the action this evening. There's that race for second place again. That is tight.
Boy, Mustard is all over Jerry Welchel. And Jerry's getting a lot of rear end slide, a lot of oversteer when he goes into these corners. I'm not quite sure that he's got the right tire cut combination for this particular track right now.
Well, they're all trying to hook up right now as they drop down the peristyles, the exit from outside the Los Angeles Coliseum. You can trace this form of racing back to the early days of desert racing, but they have defined it, redefined it, and put it on to stadium off-road races all over America, and it's called the Super 1600s. These are rear-mounted 1650cc engines. They can cost anywhere from $30,000 up to $60,000 to race. It's not cheap, but it sure is a lot of fun to watch.
Here goes Mitch Mustard, gonna try it on the outside. Can he make it stick? No, but he ducks back. No, and he actually runs up into the bumper of Jerry Welchel. These guys are really leaning on each other.
And he dang near clipped that hydro barrier as he's heading on up.
Oh, and Jerry Welchel stalls at the top of the peristyle and gives second place right to Mitch Mustard
with 5.5 laps to go. But the man out in front is Marty Hart, and he is being, there's Jerry Welchel. Boy, he must be dejected, depressed, every other adjective you can think of right now.
Well, he knows right now that the points lead has just slipped away, at least momentarily, because Marty Coyne is now running in third, and all he can do is sit there and try and restart the vehicle. Boy, all Mitch needs is one mistake here. It might be, whoa! Now Mitch nicely gets out of it. That could have been in a serious contact there if he had forced the issue.
And he almost again skirted with danger as he just barely misses that hydro barrier. These are high-quality drivers, folks, that you're watching on the Mickey Thompson circuit. Some of the best in the business. We realized a long time ago, over 10 years ago, Mickey Thompson did, that you couldn't take the fans out to the desert, so he simply brought the desert to the fans, and it all started here in Los Angeles, California at the Coliseum back in 1979, and here we are in 1991, healthy and happy in racing stadiums all over the country.
I still would have loved to have been in that first meeting.
A fly on the wall when Mickey Thompson tried to explain to the Coliseum board that he wanted to bring in 1 million pounds of dirt, throw it on the Coliseum, collision. Uh-oh, they're hung up, and he is on the hydro barrier mustard. Let's see who's going to be the benefactor of this one.
It's going to be Marty Coyne. Here comes Coyne. There he goes around the accident, and Marty Coyne will take the white flag. 1 lap remaining, and these two cannot get going.
Boy, you talk about a break for that guy. Number 6, Marty Coyne out of Lemon Grove, California. Mustard and Hart are tangled up like you can't believe. They can't even unhook them. So number 6, Marty Coyne, looks like he was on his way to victory, and he wins it simply by the mistake that was made up front. Rough driving, want to look at that maybe, Marty?
Well, they'll take a look at it. I don't know what they'll do because both drivers have been penalized enough. They can't get any further behind than they already are.
Yeah, what are they going to do, put them at the back of the pack where they already are? Well, there they are. They're off and racing, though.
Here comes Marty Coyne. He's got one more turn before he will win this race.
And he will slip slide his way to victory here in heat race number 1 of the Super 1600s. It's funny how these things unfold. Every race has its own personality.
Marty, good job here in the heat race. Basically, you saw what happened in front of you. Those two were knocking on each other.
You bet, Marty. It was a tight race going all along, and I had missed a couple gears, fell a little bit far back, and I was just waiting for one of those guys to make a mistake, and they sure did, and I was there to take advantage of it.
Well, here's our view. Would you put any blame on this one, or are you going to take the 5th?
Well, I just missed the start of it there, but I think both drivers were going for position. It was for first place and not in the back of the pack, so I don't know. It's probably a 50-50 deal.
Well, there you come around the outside, and from that point on, it was your race. Congratulations. We'll see you in the main event.
Thanks very much. I'm looking forward to it.
As you stroll down pit lane, you see all the shiny transporters of the factory-backed teams. Walker Evans and his Dodge, Ivan Stewart and his Toyota. But when you come to one corner of the pits, you'll see this black converted moving van that belongs to Dan Esslinger. He's a throwback to the old days of racing. He's an independent, running on his own money, scrimping and saving everywhere he can just to make it to the next race.
Yeah, well, don't feel too sorry for us. We try hard, and you know we come to enjoy ourselves and make a show out of this thing, you know. And so there's a lot of effort goes in, but there's not a lot of money that comes into this program. Toyota's awesome, Ivan's awesome, Millen's awesome. Those guys are great, and they spend their money really well, and they do a good job. I wish we had their catering budget. I think we could really do well on their catering budget. So they're good. We can't afford the insurance on the tractor that we have because we only run the thing 4 or 5 times a year, and so it works out better for us to get a rental tractor, you know, every 3 months or every other month whenever we run. So it works out better that way. It'd be nice to look super neat like everybody else does, but you know, it's just not in the cards right now. I would say we probably definitely have more pure fun because they have a lot of pressure. You know, if they don't perform, you know, maybe they get cut back next year or whatever. If we don't perform just right, we come back next race and go at it again. And whatever we get out of it is a plus for us. And it's a privilege to come out and run against guys like Mears and Ivan and Walker Evans. These guys are legendary racing people, and they're great. And so to do anything against them is really a pleasure, and it's fun. So that's one of the reasons why we do it.
Grand National Sport Trucks, heat race number 2. This is going to be a lot of fun. The guy we want to keep our eye on is Walker Evans. He was leading the Grand National points coming into Los Angeles, and here's what he had to do to try and protect it.
Manufacturer's battle.
real important that you want to unseat the Toyotas after 8 straight seasons of them claiming the title.
Well, like you said, they've had it for 8 straight seasons, and here we are with a slight advantage, and I call a slight advantage 12 points. It really is. It could change pretty easily, and after all, we still have, you might say, 4 races, counting tonight's, left. So a lot of things can happen. Our Dakotas are running really strong. We qualified quite well with them. We're really happy with the positioning and the way the lineup's going to be tonight. So we're looking forward to good racing.
Okay, now here's the updated points, and you can see that Walker's heat race number 1 cost him dearly, 276 to 239. He had a 50-point lead going into this event, so Ivan Stewart able to close a bit of the gap because of what happened to Rob McCachran. McCachran was listed in 3rd place, but he got penalized. There you see him lined up, but this is the reason he got penalized. When he got into close contact on the outside of the peristyles with Roger Mears Jr., and Mears went over on his side, was knocked out of the position, and what ended up happening was Rob McCachran was bumped 2 spots down to 5th place, and he has dropped a few points because of that. And it's allowed Ivan Stewart to close the gap a little more on Walker Evans.
Yeah, plus Rob McCachran starting way back in row number 5. We're off and racing. Millions of dollars of machinery online at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Mike Chamberlain and Marty Reed calling the action. The Grand National Sport Truck supplying the action as they head up the peristyles. It's 80 feet. They'll make a hard left-hand turn, and they will exit the other side. And if you go up 80 feet, you would have to believe you'd have to come down 80 feet. And that's exactly what they do as they come out the exit now. And this is the real speed section of the course.
Roger Mears Sr. in 1st, Greg George in 2nd. That's Danny Thompson with our Chevrolet BF Goodrich in-car cameras.
So the leader is 44 years of age out of Bakersfield, California, inside the Nissan Bud truck. Roger Mears continues to lead the way, and he's getting some serious heat right now from about 12 other vehicles that want a piece of him. 7 laps to go. The Grand National Sport Trucks heat race number 2. This is the longest and the fastest course that they will see this year on the Mickey Thompson circuit. If you took it and straightened it out, it would equal about a half a mile to complete one of these laps.
Here they come flying out again. Roger Mears Sr. That's Greg George in the Chevy Thunder. They come down through the rhythm section now. It's interesting. Scott Douglas has maintained 3rd spot. He's been able to hold off Walker Evans, and Rod Millen is right behind Evans.
Scott Douglas had a nice run going for a while in heat race number 2 before he ran into problems. Of course, he did start on the front row. There's your leader right now, Roger Mears. The heartbeat of America. That's that Chevy truck running in 2nd place with Greg George at the helm.
Here's a battle between Ivan Stewart and Rob McCachran. McCachran has the inside line, but he's going to get hung up behind Glenn Harris.
They are really starting to stretch out now here at the Los Angeles Coliseum. Stop number 7 on the Mickey Thompson Tour. 3 to go for the rest of the year. We've already been to places like Anaheim and Seattle, and oh my goodness sakes, this is the worst news that Danny Thompson could have.
He is stuck, and it looks like he is on the outside of the peristyles and is not going anywhere. No, he's not on the outside. He's down in one of the far corners, down in turn number 8. In fact, here comes the leader right by him.
That's a tough break, as you may have heard us say earlier. All the Chevy people are here. He's got a meeting in Detroit to talk about the program next year.
Look at this. This is action for 3rd place. Walker Evans, Rod Millen on the inside, going to try. Oh, he gets spun around. They make contact. Millen makes a great save.
Unbelievable save from that spin as he goes into turn number 1.
And he did it. Remember, he's got a broken left finger right at the knuckle.
And they are strung out all over the place. The white flag is out. This will be the last lap of heat race number 2. Roger Mears Sr. is in the pilot seat right now. And Greg George would like a little piece of him at least before this thing is all said and done, with about 3/4 of a lap remaining.
One of the things we should point out on Roger's car, throughout practice and qualifying, they were continually breaking shock absorbers. Obviously, they have found the right combination because he has been able to keep that Bud Nissan in one piece, and he's got about 2 more turns to go.
Domestic and imported pickup trucks, you name it, and it's here tonight. We've got Chevys and Dodge and Nissans and Fords. They are all here represented on the Mickey Thompson circuit. Let's make one more left-hand turn for Roger Mears Sr. and the 44-year-old from Bakersfield looks squarely at a checkered flag, and boy, did he earn it. He held off the rest of the field. Greg George with a rather impressive 2nd place finish, and then Walker Evans from Riverside, California will finish 3rd.
Roger Mears, congratulations on a fine victory here on heat race number 2. But I got to ask you, you had a lot of problems throughout practice and qualifying breaking shocks. Obviously, I think you found the combination.
Yeah, we did. We had to limit some travel and some things, but the guys did a heck of a job. Got it where it's staying together, and our little Nissan just did great.
What about competition as far as from Greg George? Did you really feel any pressure or heat from him at any time, or did you feel like you had the race under control?
Well, I really didn't until I looked up on the big screen and saw him coming up on me, and that was the first time I'd realized. But every once in a while, I'd hear, feel him a little bit, but he was keeping me honest.
Well, we'll see you in the main event. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
It's time for the main event of the Ultra Stocks. This will be an 8-lap affair. The Ultra Stocks, the all-terrain sports cars of off-road racing. And Marty Reed's going to set the scene. We got some hard hitters in this one, Marty.
Absolutely. Starting right off on the front row, Tommy Croft, who is the current points leader in the number 25. Brian Collins right alongside him. Then Larry Knoll and Lloyd Castle in row number 2.
We are just about set to go. In the front row is a Jeep and a Porsche. The Jeep belonging to Tommy Croft, the Porsche belonging to Brian Collins. And those two make up the front row. There are 15 in all that are processed and ready to go in the main event at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum.
I love it. Gary Scheimer shaking his head saying, come on, fellas, you aren't going to get away with anything. Here we go.
And we are off and racing. The Jeep and the Porsche split inside and outside and head up the peristyle at the Los Angeles Coliseum. 80 feet straight up. They'll make a hard left-hand turn and then return by dropping 80 feet to the ground. There they are outside, and it looks as though the Porsche wins the battle outside. No, I'll take that back. Jeep comes down first. Tommy Croft with the lead.
Yeah, Tommy's going to make it through the turn here. Timmy Lewis, or Brian Collins, I should say, got hung up there momentarily. Boy, and it has been costly. A lot of traffic got by.
How about this? Larry Knoll has moved into second place. This guy has some serious credentials. He's the defending champion here in Los Angeles as we look at Tommy Croft working the dirt right now.
And let me point out on the far side, Lloyd Castle, one of our heat race winners in the number 5 Jeep, has stopped dead in the water in turn 7. So that is a big blow for their campaign. There he is, dead in the water.
Lloyd Castle, 49 years of age, out of Bellflower, California, has become a spectator with 7 laps to go. Tommy Croft is your leader. In second place, Larry Knoll. I was telling you that he is the defending champion. There he is, the number 1. Defending champion here in Los Angeles, a 3-time winner on the circuit this year. There's a Corvette that's dead in the water.
That's Marty Moore.
And he also won heat race number 2 here tonight, Larry Knoll. So there's your leader, number 25. Tommy Croft, out of San Diego, California, continues to lead the way. This is the Ultra Stock main event here in Los Angeles.
Larry also races in Super 1600 competition, but I asked him before the competition tonight, I said, which one's more important? He says, oh, absolutely, the Ultra Stock. He says, you know, we're within striking distance of capturing the Drivers' Championship. We definitely are going to go for it.
Well, you can understand that. These are cars that you can see on the streets all the time, albeit they are not decked out in the colors and the numbers that you see here on the Mickey Thompson circuit.
Oh, my car is. Isn't
really?
yours?
You got numbers on yours?
Oh, yeah, parking tickets.
The only thing my car has in common with these are they have four tires on it, but that's about where it ends. Tommy Croft continues to wind it out and to lead the way. This was introduced back in 1985, the Ultra Stocks. And it's here to stay. It's a real crowd pleaser. Whoops, we got somebody on their side.
That's Don Colt, and that's outside on top of the peristyles, and he's on the inside lane looking sideways. Here is the battle for 4th spot. That is young Brian Stewart alongside of Christopher Neal. Whoa, and they're bumping as they come down the front straightaway. Chris Neal takes over the spot, and they're closing in quickly on the number 67 of Brian Collins.
Brian Collins doing nothing but getting in the way at this point as they skirt around the car that is on its side right now. Larry Knoll chasing Tommy Croft. Here they work the rhythm sections. This is the timing section of the course. Sometimes we refer to it as the whoop-de-doos, if you will. But these are sleek and sassy little sports cars. They can run you up to $50,000, believe it or not, so not a cheap form of racing.
Well, to give you an idea, they have got a full straightaway lead over those cars. There's the 2 Porsches going after each other, Brian Collins and Tim Lewis. Collins in front of Lewis. That's the battle for 3rd right now. Well, there's an idea. You saw them on the outside. That was the battle for 3rd place. Here they are in turn number 7 for the lead between Tommy Croft and Larry Knoll. I mean, it is absolutely no contest I don't know if we have a camera angle wide enough that shows you the margin that these two hold over third place.
Yeah, it's from me to you. It's a long ways between second and third place right now as they work their way up the peristyles one more time.
That was Jim Smith, by the way, that they went around. He is stalled at the base of the peristyle.
And Don Colt is also on the side out on the track somewhere out of Tucson, Arizona. He's a long way from home. So a couple of cars are out of the race, but a couple of the cars are fighting for first place like you've never seen. And there they are, Tommy Croft and Larry Knoll.
And that flat traffic in front of them could play a very key factor as they head in for turn 7.
Some of that lap traffic is a guy named Cameron Steele out of San Clemente, California. I've covered him on another circuit on ESPN. He's a bodyboarder, and I cover the circuit in Hawaii, and he's a very good bodyboarder in the big waves of Hawaii. But he's behind the steering wheel. That's him in that number 12 Jeep that's causing some trouble right now, and Larry Knoll wants to get around him, but he can't.
I don't know if Knoll made the right choice there. He has got to find a way to get around them quickly because that man right there, Tommy Croft, took the inside line, and I think he's going to come out the big beneficiary at the other end.
Well, I think you're right, because there's Larry finally coming down now, and he still has some slower traffic as he banks off.
Oh, what a great move by Larry Knoll. I don't know how he managed to pull that off, getting around the slower traffic. He had 2 cars to get around, and he managed to do it.
The only thing I can figure is that maybe Tommy Croft stalled somewhere outside the Coliseum, but there's your new leader, and you can understand why he wears that number 1 plate, the defending champion last year on the Mickey Thompson circuit, and he's really stretching it out. There's only 1 lap to go. Croft is running out of time.
Something has to have happened to Tommy Croft's Jeep. There is just no way he would have fallen back this far. I mean, Knoll made a great maneuver. Take nothing away from him on that particular maneuver. But look at the margin that Larry Knoll has opened up. I got to believe that something has gone wrong inside the number 25 Jeep.
Marty, this is a big story developing. Larry Knoll is about to win his 4th title on the tour this year. He has already won 3, and he's about to put number 4 under his belt. Unbelievable racing for Larry Knoll, 36 years of age, out of Danville, California. In case you don't recognize it, that is a Volkswagen. That's a VW, as he still is sliding and gliding his way to victory here. And here comes the checkered flag out for Larry Knoll from Danville, California, the winner of the main event in Los Angeles, his 4th win of the year.
Number 10 all-time in the category, only 3 behind the category leader, Jeff Elrod.
Well, this is the one race of the night where body language comes into play. The 4-wheel ATVs, and you're about to watch the main event. It's going to be an 8-lap affair.
Right on the front row, defending champion, not only at this event at Los Angeles, but overall for the season. Number 1 on the left side of your screen, charging Charlie Shepard. Right alongside of him, Greg Stewart.
Stop number 7 on the Mickey Thompson Off-Road Championship Grand Prix, and this is the main event of the ATVs, and we are off and at it as they split left and right. Almost an equal field goes left, an equal field goes right, and they head up the peristyles. Look at the acceleration, and they grab some air at the top.
This is outside the peristyles. They'll make the turn on the left-hander, and oh, a big spill, a tremendous spill. The number 29 machine of Mike Olmstead, and he is run over by at least 1 machine, and he is down.
5 machines in all tangle in that one. Half of them figure him out. And there you can see that is Olmstead that is down and cannot get up. The rest of the field working their way around the track right now. And let's see if we can pick up a leader for you. It is number 1. That is Charles Shepard, who leads the way. Are they going to have to yellow flag this? They're going to get that rider out of the way is the question.
They're going to turn everybody to the inside to get them out of the other lane, so they'll have no option here.
Good move. Charlie Shepard, 19 years of age, out of Bakersfield. There's a race for 2nd and 3rd, Marty.
Yeah, things getting a little tight there. Charlie, you know, we should point out, he won back at Pasadena in March, and then in April went to Phoenix, and he managed to win there. But then he has had no better than a 3rd-place finish in the last 2 events. He finished 3rd at Dallas and did not finish in the top 3 at Seattle.
Well, he knows this course as well as anybody. He is the defending champion here in Los Angeles. He won this event last year, and it looks like he's on his way to putting another one. Back-to-back wins for him.
Look at the gap he has opened up over 2nd place. It is a long way back. There's Derek Hamilton and Mark Earhart. Now, these 2 were our heat winners earlier tonight, so it's the first time that they have been tangling wheel to wheel. And they're battling it out for 2nd place right now.
You know, this sport has really become colorful, Marty, not only in the machines they ride, but the outfits they wear, all the prints and all the florals and all the wild costumes that these guys put out to the Mickey Thompson circuit. It's colorful.
Yeah, if it was the 1960s, they call them hippies.
I'm going to tell you, if you dress like that, you better be a good racer. I tell you, you better back it up. And they're doing it here. Charlie Shepard continues to lead the way. Stop number 7 on the Mickey Thompson Tour. Mike Chamberlain and Marty Reed calling the action. So glad that you could join us tonight on ESPN. Look how they ride these things like a jockey would ride a thoroughbred. Rarely do their rear ends touch down to the seat. They need so much leg strength in this sport, and that's what it's all about. There's that race for second place.
Whoa, and these two are really going after each other. Earhart trying to get around the number 6 of Derek Hamilton.
They grab some air off this double jump. They can go as far as 40, 50 feet in the air before they finally touch down, and that's that race for second place. These two split. Derek Hamilton and Mark Earhart. Hamilton, 20 years of age. Mark Earhart is 20 from Pomona. He's on a Suzuki, but there's the leader. Number 1, Charlie Shepard on board the Honda.
Boy, it's just amazing how smooth this guy can be. And I know he wants to end this drought streak. I mean, for him to not do very well in 2 races in a row is quite rare with the way he's been performing last year and this year.
Well, there's the guy that's getting all the camera time tonight on ESPN with the number 1 plate, Charlie Shepard. Hey, this form of racing was introduced way back in 1983 on the Mickey Thompson circuit. And now all the manufacturers are represented here. You'll see Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki. They're all here racing on the Mickey Thompson circuit.
Less than, let's say half a lap to go.
Sounds good to me. Well, Charlie Shepard came out here tonight and meant business. He took the lead from the very start. He was not about to give it up. As Marty said, he wanted to win here. He does not like to settle for second, third, fourth, or fifth place.
Well, you know what's interesting? Charlie really needs this because despite all his wins and great finishes, he only holds a 7-point lead over the man in second place, Mark Earhart, going into tonight's main event. So this will mean a lot to the points battle as Charlie Shepard wins again on the 4-wheel ATV. All right, let's go back to a very frightening moment. Mike Olmstead and Chris Cotto ended up going end over end. You'll just see the tail end of it as they come down on the outside of the peristyles. Watch number 8. There's Cotto going over the front as he runs into Olmstead's machine, and the machine goes right over top Olmstead, and then Cotto's machine, he just barely gets away before that one comes down. And, we can tell you only that Olmstead was helped off, but he was walking and appeared to be conscious and A-OK.
Grand National Sport Trucks are rolling out for their main event, and one of the racers in car number 4 is Roger Mears. Now, I take you back to 1979. He raced in the inaugural race here, finished second to his brother Rick. It took him 11 years to finally win at the Coliseum, and he did it last year. He's back to defend his title this year.
As we take a look at the points, Walker Evans in front of Ivan Stewart by 40 now. Rod Millen in third. Rob McCachran with 220. Mears in 5th place at 213. But the front row has got Rob McCachran and Ivan Stewart. Now, McCachran is going for his 3rd main event victory in a row. And Ivan Stewart has yet to find victory lane this year in a main event.
All right, we're just about set to go. Jerry Stansberry is going to turn it over to Gary Scheimer, our official starter. We're about to set to go. Rob McCachran says acceleration at the start is the key to winning. He's on the front row, and let's see what happens as McCachran and Ivan Stewart split the way, and mud chunks the size of bowling balls are being tossed in the air everywhere. They head up the peristyle. That's an 80-foot climb. Make a left-hand turn outside the Coliseum, and then they make that 80-foot drop down. So let's see if McCachran will come out with the lead on this one. Ivan Stewart should meet him on the other side, and Ivan Stewart will take the lead. Rob McCachran will settle for 2nd place, and in 3rd place is Danny Thompson in the Heartbeat of America, the Chevy Thunder truck.
And 4th place will be Walker Evans, and 5th place will be his teammate Glenn Harris.
So they are slipping and sliding their way around the course right now. 13 vehicles in all came to the starting line for the main event of the Grand National Sport Trucks, and Ivan Stewart is flying down this straightaway. There's that back of the pack. There's a lot of bumping and grinding going on.
Yeah, Roger Mears Sr. right behind Glenn Harris as they head up through the peristyles again. Here is the Iron Man, Ivan Stewart. Boy, you You cannot imagine how much he wants this victory. In practice, he was trying so hard, and in qualifying, he went up through the peristyles, got so nose heavy, he rolled the truck over, bruised his left knee, and said, it's okay, we'll just reload. Makes a little extra work for the crew. He regretted that, but he says, we're going to get this win.
Ivan Stewart, one of the most decorated off-road racers of all time, is the man on the point. Rob McCachran, seeking his third straight win on the Mickey Thompson circuit, is running in second place, and Danny Thompson, with all the Chevy higher-ups here watching him tonight.
That was a quick look at the battle between Greg George and Roger Mears Jr. This is the battle for first and second. There's Rob McCachran trying to track down the Iron Man.
10 laps to go, top to bottom. We've got a collision in that near turn. It's one of the Nissan trucks, but somehow they both pull out of it.
We've got a full course yellow over on the far side of the track. Oh no, Rob McCachran has stopped. So not only that, but we should tell you on the far side of the racetrack, two trucks have come into contact, Rod Millen and Roger Mears Jr. Mears Jr. is on his side. They were battling well back in the pack. There is Roger Mears Jr. That's the reason for the full course yellow. In fact, it looks like Rod Millen, just a little bit to the left of that, is also having a problem. And now Rob McCachran is out of this race. So we talked about it, not since 1988 has anyone ever won 3 in a row, and it will not be done tonight by Rob McCachran.
Here is Ivan Stewart in his Toyota truck. Getting some good air off these jumps. It tells you the acceleration. 5 laps still to go. And watch out for the Iron Man. He's got a lot of experience. He's got more moves than U-Haul, and you just hope that he can call in all the marks today.
Well, this is very important. Remember, he started tonight's action 50 points behind Walker Evans. He is now 40 points behind, and Evans is in third, so he could pick up a little more ground if he can hold on for this win.
Ivan Stewart, 46 years of age, out of San Diego, California, unbelievably in trim, great shape. Probably has his own personal trainer. He makes a point of being healthy and happy and in shape. And there he is, just bumping and grinding his way around the course right now. The defending champion of the circuit last year. He won 5 races on the Mickey Thompson circuit in 1990. 4 laps to go.
Well, Danny Thompson's truck, the Chevy Thunder, sounds awful, but somehow he is managing to stay within contact of the Ironman. Oh, right on the front stretch, Dan Esslinger gets on his side. We may have another full course yellow on this one. He got hung up in the hydro barrier. In fact, he destroyed it. Look at it. I mean, he has got a gusher going.
Oh, that's going to cause havoc now. The Iron Man is in front with an awesome display of horsepower as he starts to now pull away.
The question is, can Danny Thompson hold on to second place? I'm amazed at how well he's been able to keep that Chevy moving. It just sounds awful.
But he's looking good. He's running in second place. But the man of the hour is this guy, the Ironman Ivan Stewart. He's got a half a lap to go. Actually, not a bad finish for Danny Thompson if he can hold on to second place with that mis-sounding engine right now. But the Ironman, he's got 2 left-hand turns. And the 46-year-old from San Diego, he told us 5 races ago eventually he would get to Victory Circle, and he made good on his promise tonight in Los Angeles, California. A long time in coming. The Ironman wins. Danny Thompson will finish second, and Walker Evans will finish third in that Dodge Dakota. And that's the way it stacks up in the Grand National Sport Trucks. A big win for the Ironman. I can't wait to hear from him.
Kelly LeBrock reveals the essence.
Ivan, I know it's been a long time coming this season after the great year last year, but congratulations on a fine, fine win.
Well, thank you, Marty. The truck ran great as usual and runs all the time, as you know. It's a brand new Toyota truck, and as you know, we've just got this is our first year for it, so we're still going to sort some bugs out of it, and I'll guarantee you it's going to be faster yet.
Well, congratulations, a fine win.
Well, thank you, Marty. If we're going to win one, this is the one to win, I'll guarantee you.
Yeah, you've narrowed the points.
Yeah, where'd Walker finish?
He was third.
Okay, darn it.
Never happy, are you? You're never happy.
Never 100%, no.
We'll see you at the next event.
Thanks, Marty.
Well, congratulations to all our winners tonight here in Los Angeles. The Ironman gets his first win of the year in the Sport Truck Division. Larry Knoll, Charlie Shepard, Greg George with his 17th career main event win. That's the best of all time. Frank Arciero made the winner's circle, as did Kyle Lewis in the Ultra Cross. So a few thank yous, if you will, to our producer-director Lou Rainoni, and to my partner Marty Reed, thank you, and all of you for watching tonight. I'm Mike Chamberlain. That's going to do it from Los Angeles, California. The Mickey Thompson Off-Road Championship Grand Prix is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers with that taste that's clean, crisp, and cold. Nothing beats a Bud. In-car cameras made possible by your friends at Chevrolet, Nature's Recipe, the Pet Food Professionals, and Barrier Camera, compliments of Chevrolet. This has been a presentation of Bud Sports, aired through the facilities of ESPN.